Could you imagine what the football world would be like 200 seasons into the future? The year is 2223 and it is a very different place. There are flying cars, finally, and AI does all of our menial tasks for us. But the world of football is still going on in England, with the landscape somewhat different to what it is today. If you like what you see, please click that like button and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any of these fun FN24 videos. Leave a comment down below to tell me what surprised you most about this world of football. And starting off with the Premier League, of course, and Arsenal have won the league ahead of Chelsea, Cardiff, Derby and Wolves, who all make the Champions League as well. Crystal Palace, Preston and Lincoln City all make Europe too, with Sheffield United making the Champions League as they have won the Europa League this season. We see the likes of Stockport County, who recently got promoted to League One in real life, Gateshead and Port Vale hanging on to Premier League status. But sadly, my Man United side joined Luton and Reading as the teams that go down. Man City survive 8 points above relegation but are no longer the dominant side they once were. Checking out the Championship, and we have Colchester United, Fulham and Newcastle United going up. Also in the Championship we find Gloucester City, former European champions Hull City, yeah that's right, check out my 100 years video in the future for that, Swindon Town and Salford City. The likes of Tottenham, Brighton and Bournemouth are all sitting mid-table, while Stevenage, Carlisle and Burnley are all heading down. In League One we see Sutton United going up as champions with a really low total of 77 points. Joining them are Aston Villa and Yeovil Town, who get themselves back into the Championship. Check out my video making them European champions when you have some time. Liverpool are in mid-table of League One, while we see the likes of Leicester, Nottingham Forest and Southampton all in the lower half of the table. While some really small clubs like Blyth Spartans and Thames United find themselves in here. And also it's really unfortunate to see St Neots Town couldn't get themselves up into the Championship, but I guess Yeovil just wanted it more. Moving on down to League 2 and we see Altrincham, Exeter, Torquay and Boston all getting promoted to the third level of English football. Everton losing in the playoff final to Boston is really disappointing for them. This league is home to Tamworth, Bromley, Guiseley and Eastleigh these days, who all start outside the football leagues. Moving to the National League and we find Spennymoor Town and Woking going up, both of whom were in the football leagues 100 years ago in my previous video. Millwall, Watford and Wigan all find themselves in mid-table in the National League, while it's sad to see small towns like Bowers and Pitsea and Stratford Town going down. In the National League North, Rotherham are still finding themselves struggling in the 6th tier of English football, while Cambridge United and Kingsland Town are heading into the National League proper. Colne, Skelmersdale United, Scarborough and Kettering Town are all heading down to the 7th tier. Moving to the National League South, we don't find too many big sides, but there are plenty of teams who start much lower than this league who are in there. The likes of Marlow, Midhurst and Eastbourne, Edgware and Kingsbury and Burgess Hill Town all staying in this league. Going further down the leagues we see Hartlepool United in the Northern Premier League Division 1 East and Wycombe Wanderers just hanging on to their status in the Southern League Division 1 Central. But after looking through plenty of leagues, I realised there was one current Premier League team missing, and there they were. Brentford are in the Combined Counties League Premier Division North in the 9th tier of English football. But thankfully for them, they'll be moving back up to the 8th tier, as they have gained themselves promotion with powerhouses Brookhouse. They managed to get over British Airways in the final of the playoffs to seal their promotion. If we have a look at the winners of the Premier League over the last 100 years or so, we see Arsenal, Chelsea and Wolves being the most consistent teams. But Crystal Palace and Cardiff City have both got themselves Premier League wins recently. Moving further back and we see Leeds, Lincoln and Norwich lifting trophies, breaking up the wins of Chelsea, Arsenal and Man City. Further back again we see more wins for Wolves, Norwich, Chelsea and Arsenal, but it's Derby County getting themselves a couple win being the highlight from this section. And finally, just after we left off in the last video, we see a major period of dominance from Man City, broken by Wolves. Chelsea then win 3 in a row before Wolves take out the next 5 Premier Leagues. A few different FA Cup winners that we see recently are Sheffield United, Derby County, winning 3 out of 4, Port Vale winning 3, Crystal Palace with a couple, and Cardiff City as well. And even further down, Colchester United lifted the famous trophy at Wembley as well. No major surprises in this section, though Norwich City and Arsenal both had major spells of dominance with the FA Cup. Lincoln City got themselves a couple of FA Cup trophies after we left off in the video as well, as Sheffield United winning 2. Moving on to the Champions League, where Barcelona are the most recent winners, breaking a period of 6 years in a row where Arsenal reached the final, but they could only lift 2 trophies. Chelsea have a number of wins as well, as Wolves continuing their fantastic performances in the future. Cardiff City have 2 wins in 22-10 and 22-15, while Derby County lifted the trophy in 22-11. A bit further down, and a few Champions League wins to Leeds United, as well as a couple to Norwich, are the English highlights. But probably the biggest shock of all is St. Gallen from Switzerland, who were European champions in 2190. Going even further back, and more trophies to Norwich City, Arsenal and Wolves, but we also see Derby County getting 2 in 2159 and 2161. Athletic Bilbao lifted the trophy in 2162 to stop a repeat by Derby County. Going back to where we left off, and we still see more Wolves Champions League trophies as well as Norwich, Chelsea, Arsenal and Man City's last one in the season after the last video. But probably my favourite part of this world was checking through the Europa League winners to see in 22-06 the trophy was won by Lincoln from Gibraltar. So I decided to do some more investigating of their performances to find out that they have won their league 211 times, which incredibly includes the last 163 seasons. Before that, they lost 3 in 4 seasons, but they have won everything else for almost 20 years previous. Not only that, Gibraltar have won the Europa League on 3 separate occasions, having also won in 2188 and 2179. Chelsea have now overtaken Man City as the most successful side in England with 65 Premier League trophies. But when it comes to Man United, yep, very depressingly, we still haven't won any more Premier League or Champions League trophies 200 years into the future. Check out the video on the screen now to see the world as it was 100 years in the future, the precursor to this video here. Click that like button and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any more fun experiments such as this, and the most important thing, you make sure you have yourself a wonderful day.